This gun violence has to end here in America. And it's not the gun's fault for killing people. It's actually the idiot's fault. Now there are politicians out there saying it's the gun's fault. And we need gun control because guns are what kill people and that stuff. And, you know, no, it's not true. The only thing that is killing people are the idiots who don't even know how to use that firearm properly. Firearms are used for, shooting target. Like, not not individuals. I mean, shooting targets like, shooting like round targets. You get what I mean? And they're also used for hunting. Now, maybe you don't use every single firearm for, hunting or whatever. But, there are responsible ways to be using firearms, and then there are also irresponsible ways, which also idiots use them in the most irresponsible ways ever. They use them for killing people. And most of the time, they use them to kill people out of hatred. Take the Buffalo shooter, for example. He killed black people in the Top supermarket over in downtown Buffalo. And he was motivated by racial hate. So anyway, he is charged for a hate crime. He is also charged with domestic terrorism. And he's pretty much going to be labeled armed and dangerous now. And is known for hating people of the opposite race. Because of the conspiracy theory that he has in believing with what the opposing race has done to him, or, whatever stuff. Yeah. Uvalde, Texas, Salvador Ramos, that shooter had been inside of a classroom, and he has said it is time to die for little kids in their tents. And this boy that hid under the tablecloth heard what this guy was saying. He heard the bullets. He hid under a table that had a tablecloth under it, or over it, and nobody could even see where this guy was. Nobody could see where this 9-year-old boy was hiding. And it wasn't obvious for Salvador Ramos to actually see him, because he was under a tablecloth. So, when the police arrived over at Uvalde, Texas, Salvador Ramos shot at the cop, and the police shot Salvador Ramos 2 times and killed him. Salvador Ramos has killed 19 children, including 2 teachers. That's 21 kills total. So, anyway, let's get down to this video, shall we? So, I literally want to be reacting to all this gun violence that has happened this year, because this year is pretty much one of the biggest years where we've had the most mass shootings in the United States. And so far, a lot of this just, it's like it hasn't even been solved in any way. You know what I mean? It's like politicians haven't even done anything to ban people for, you know, especially when they're younger than 18, to actually own a firearm. Or be in the possession of owning one. Ethan Crumbley here, one of the shooters, he was under the age of 18. He was 15, and his father had bought him a gun, and it was given to Ethan Crumbley as a Christmas present. And that gun was hidden upstairs in the parents' bedroom and that stuff. And he decided one day that he was going to take that gun, go over to Oxford School, and walk into a restroom with a backpack, come back out, and start firing down the hallway. Now, people have died over there in Oxford High School. And the school pretty much, didn't really make a big deal about it. Ethan Crumbley was, caught for doing it, but he was, sent back to class when his parents came. Like, the school didn't handle the situation properly. He should have been, expelled from school and, not be allowed back into Oxford High, because he was, there were signs there. There were signs that were actually leading up to the school shooting. And that was when Ethan Crumbley was sitting in class one day. He was looking on his phone for ammunition on guns. And then he also, another day, had been making a drawing of a person that was getting shot. And one of the things he wrote on his drawing that he was making was blood everywhere. The thoughts won't stop, help me. The world is dead. And there's also a drawing of a laughing emoji on the picture. If you'd like to find out about how what was on the drawing, you can always go back to the video where the Michigan Attorney General reads what was on that note and on that drawing and get more details on what was written on there. And one day, either it was Ethan Crumbley was looking on his phone for ammunition or whatever and that stuff, or he had that drawing of a handgun or a gun shooting at a figure below that, according to the Michigan Attorney General, appears to be shot like 2 times in the drawing. One of those days, Ethan Crumbley's teacher was so nervous about what Ethan Crumbley was doing that she actually took a picture of either the drawing or the ammunition that he was looking at, that she took a picture of on her phone of either him looking up ammunition or the drawing that Ethan Crumbley was drawing. And that was one of the signs. Now, other students were also kind of aware that there was a warning that there was going to be a shooting that happened over there. But at the same time, they also thought he was joking. But, you know, you don't want to take things as a joke. Even if it's like, you know, death threats on social media. Okay, that isn't really something that you would take as like a joke. Right when I was watching the news, there was a post that said, I am death, the destroyer of worlds. See you tomorrow, Oxford. And that was posted by Ethan Crumbley himself. And the Inside Edition said he was acted like a normal kid in the neighborhood. And he, there was the Inside Edition, and there was, it was Ethan Crumbley showing off his collection of violent video games that he was playing. And one of them, I believe, was Grand Theft Auto. And I believe the other one was Call of Duty. But anyway, they were violent video games, alright? And one of the violent video games he played had a character that had a speech that said, I am death, the destroyer of worlds. And that was a video game character that said that. Now, Ethan Crumbley, back before the shooting, Inside Edition had caught him on camera saying, I have a Call of Duty. Call me up if you want to play that one. And in some part of that clip, he said, I promise to make another Nazi zombie videos and that stuff. And, you know, now, it's leading up to clues on what he was doing. Because I'm sure this kid was absolutely delusional. And he was playing like so much violent video games that he ended up thinking like the video game. And he had started getting his interest for owning firearms. And, you know, this is just one of the things that you want to look at when there's going to be mass shootings that happen. Because you want to look at their background. What have they done to actually get to this? That, like, led up to this tragic event that had taken place. And who knows? Who knows what they're doing? But, you know, social media threats, like how Salvador Ramos has done, he made like 3 threatening Facebook post death threats on social media and that stuff. And he's also texting a girl that he met in Germany on an online dating site. Or that he met on the internet. Maybe they weren't dating. And he wrote that, well, I'm not going to go all over all the texts that he sent and that stuff, but he said, I'm going to go over the ones that are very, very important. There's one that says, my grandmother's on the phone with AT&T and that stuff about my cell phone bill. I'm going to do something about it. And so what he decides to do, he decides to go over to his grandmother and shoot her in the head. He texted that as well. He texted, hey, I just shot my grandmother in the head. And then he texted back to the girl that said, I'm going to go shoot up an elementary school. He said he's going to go shoot up an elementary school next. And then, after a while, the girlfriend texted back and said, hey, I just saw on the news what happened. And Salvador Ramos was unable to text back. Why? Because the police shot him and killed him. 2 times they shot Salvador Ramos in Uvalde, Texas, Robb Elementary School. Because of him opening fire on the cops when they arrived at Uvalde, Texas, Robb Elementary School. Now, there are also police that forbidden people to actually go inside the school and stop Salvador Ramos. But the parents wanted to rush inside and see what was going on. And it was very urgent for the cops when they got over there to actually go in there and that stuff. Pretty much, the Texas governor is to be put to blame here. And he's got, like, some very stupid ideas on how to handle this situation. And, you know, it's stupid. And, like, as far as I know, the Texas governor, back when he was handling the COVID-19 situation and that stuff, now, this was actually very stupid. That we had when we came out with the vaccine, and we were probably at an early stage right now, the Texas governor lifted the mask mandate too early. But he also said, but it is our responsibility and our choice. And yeah, pretty much when he made the decision to lift the mask mandates and that stuff, people pretty much got, angry about the whole thing. And this was like an idiot move that the Texas governor has made. And it just says a lot to me that the Texas governor just doesn't really care about the people's safety and keeping them safe. Now, I would be surprised that other governors of other states would make terribly poor decisions on protecting the American people from any sort of gun violence. There should be laws that should be passed that literally there are laws that should be passed where nobody should be able to bring in a firearm in any public building, even if it's hidden. And there should be like metal detectors in every building. And when somebody goes through the scanner and that scanner detects a gun, if metal detectors do detect guns that are hidden in purses, or well, maybe not just purses, but when you scan your items too, if there's weapons hidden inside that purse and that stuff, then there should be like sensors that should be able to detect that. And when you go through courthouses, they have metal detectors there. And if this is what has to go into every single building, like metal detectors and that stuff, and making sure people stay safe. And when you go to like any public facility, there should be sensors and tight security that should be able to detect weapons of any type when anybody enters a public building. And it's for the safety of everyone. There should be like laws that should be passed by governors on strengthening security and making it more strict so that people who own firearms are not able to enter the building. And then, I like Joe Biden to be doing this, but passing executive orders for every single state in the United States to tighten security and making it safe for everyone, including elementary schools. The front door and the back door. That way, kids can stay safe from being targeted by mass murderers and also for the safety of the teachers as well. And yeah. So yeah, I think this is a good place. I think I've said, a lot what should happen in the United States over this gun violence stuff, that stuff. And I believe more strict security is what we actually need in the United States. So we can actually keep Americans safe from dying over this gun crisis. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like what was said here, please comment and subscribe to the channel, Charles Morris. Until my next video, guns that are killing people because of stupid idiots. We need more tight tighter and strict security in every public facility to keep our people safe. And when I say our people, I mean the people in the United States. And so far, Canada and Mexico are pretty much not viewing us as good people anymore, and may not be allowed into U.S. borders, or I mean into their borders anymore, because we're probably, as a whole nation, labeled armed and dangerous. Anyway, guys, it's John Moore. Have a good day. I will see you on the next video, and stay safe.